Inside Mercer Basketball with Coach Bob Hoffman and your host, Rick Cameron. Brought to you by Wild Wing Café.
Welcome to Inside Mercer Basketball. I'm Bob Hoffman, and Rick Cameron will be with us in the next segment with Dimitri Rivers back on campus. But today we're at Wild Wing Café at the shops at River Crossing. Love to thank Rick Howard for being a tremendous sponsor for so many years. Amazing food out here. You ought to come out here and check them out. My favorite is the Wild Chef salad. I just had it a moment ago. Needed a little more ranch dressing. And speaking of ranch dressing, I'm going to bring in Elvis Casonas. That's all he lives for in life is ranch dressing. Elvis is a graduate assistant of ours. In NCAA terms, you have to call them graduate managers. And Elvis has been with us 2 years now, working really hard. He came from Gardner-Webb. Elvis, tell us a little bit about your background and what you got your degree in before you got to Mercer and what you were doing at Gardner-Webb.
So I went to Gardner-Webb for 4 years. It's a small D1 school in Boiling Springs, North Carolina, and I majored there in psychology and sports management. Worked with a great staff with, Tim Kraft. And
right, amazing man.
Luther, yeah. So learned a lot of great things there, and after my 4 years there of working with them, had an amazing, blessed opportunity. Got in touch with Coach Eslick.
Yeah.
Got me in touch with you, and here I am now today.
Yeah, and you're going to finish up with a degree in what for Mercer?
Higher education.
And you've only got one class to finish that now,
that is correct,
right?
Yeah.
And then what are you hoping to do when you get done with that?
So when I finish, basketball has just been a huge passion in my life. Ever since I was little, I thought I'd be playing it, but God had a different path for me. And so now I just want to coach, just want to be involved in any way I can, and kind of use basketball as a platform.
What level are you thinking you want to do?
I would love to stay in the college level. Now, whether I have to start somewhere else, start in
right.
high school after this or whatever, junior college, but I would love to stay in college.
I want to get back to what your role is for our team, but before we do, I think there's an important story, if we could get to it just for a second, of how your family ended up in America. Tell everybody how that happened, because you came from Lithuania.
So it's a very interesting story. When I was 10, my parents actually put us in a lottery. There was a lottery that was happening in Lithuania where they selected a couple of families annually who got the opportunity to move to the U.S. With a lifetime visa, basically. And there were a bunch of requirements that you had to go through in order, to be eligible. And our family, was able to pass that, and we were fortunate.
When did that happen? When was that?
This was back in 2001.
How old were you then?
I was 10
at
the time. And
so you came to America at the time, English?
Not a word.
English.
No,
you still don't have any, but that's good.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
You're still trying to learn some English.
So,
ranch, because you got that ranch
I
dressing
knew that
on
one.
everything.
I knew that one.
And so your folks came, they got a job.
Yep.
And then
we moved here. The interesting thing so my brother and I, we came here. I was in second grade. So they placed me in class, and I just went to ESL class, which is, language is your second language, or English is your second language.
Right.
And they just sat me in front of a computer screen, and they would point at a picture, say it out loud, and I would have to repeat it, and that's how I learned the language. And my brother basically learned the same way, and then my parents, they literally just read the dictionary at home.
Wow.
And they would just write words down and talk to each other back and forth, watch TV, and that's how they learned the language.
American success story, and you being here, you've been a great success, great help for us. Tell everybody what your day-to-day responsibilities are for our program. You work so hard and been so diligent of trying to help us be successful.
So day-to-day, that's the thing that I love about athletics is it changes every day. Sometimes, I come in the mornings and one of our coaches might need, scouting on our future opponents coming up. Other times you come in and you get a text from one of the guys, hey, can you come rebound for me? Other times, like for instance, just now I had to go drop something off for Coach Merrill at one of the apparel stores just to, get something embroidered for him. So it just changes day to day. But what I love about it is, it's always different. You're constantly always helping somebody. And I just love that aspect about it.
Well, you've been a great asset to our program, and We've been blessed that you've been here. I know you're going to be successful wherever you go. Elvis Casanas, a graduate manager, working on his degree, going to finish up with a master's degree in that educational leadership. We're blessed to have him in our program, blessed to have him today. And we're going to go right now to campus, and the voice of the Bears, Rick Cameron, amazing voice. Listen to all his voice inflections, maybe the best in the world. And he's going to interview Dimitri Rivers, one of our seniors. I hope you enjoy that interview.
Droid.
Droid DNA augmentation initiated. Neural speeds increasing to 4G LTE. Brain upgrading to a quad-core processor. Precognitive intelligence with Google Now complete.
Introducing Droid DNA by HTC. It's not an upgrade to your phone, it's an upgrade to yourself.
Sure, you could tell them how fun college is. Concerts on the quad, early morning tailgates, your bearded professor with his suede elbow patches. Or you can give someone different answers. So go ahead and get ready for the typical questions, but know that Mercer has given you anything but typical answers.
Well, we're back at Hawkins Arena. Time for our segment now of interviewing one of our basketball players. Today it's Dimitri Rivers, senior out of Latson, South Carolina. Dimitri, it just doesn't seem right saying senior. Where has the time gone? Is it starting to sink in to you that this is your senior season?
Well, now that our semester is ending, like school-wise, it's like, wow, I'm halfway done with my senior year. So now it's really starting to hit. But at first it was like, just another year at first. Yeah. But now it's really sinking in.
All right, let's talk about the Dimitri Rivers that came here as a freshman in two ways, as a person and as a basketball player. How have you changed as a person?
As a person, over the years, I think I've matured more as a man. Just taking in advice from our coaches and still taking in advice from my parents from time to time. So definitely think I've grown as a man and more mature. And definitely I think my game on the court has matured as well. Like I said, taking in advice from the coaches, fine-tuning my game, working day in and day out on long summers. So.
You're one of the hardest workers on this team, Meach. You always have been. There's no telling how many shots you have taken at one of these goals in the last 4 years in this arena.
There's no telling. A lot of shots. A lot of shots.
Tell us about some of the experiences that have meant a lot to you. I know for each player has talked about this trip last summer was meaningful, but how has the ride been as a student athlete, as a basketball player here at Mercer? Some of the things that you've enjoyed and benefited from.
A lot of different things. As far as school-wise, getting to know like a bunch of different people, making new friendships, being able to bond more with my teammates as years pass, getting new teammates, having some old teammates leave, missing them, and then forming new bonds. Like with our new guys this year, only known them over the summer and this first semester, but you know, it feels like I've known them longer than that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, talk more about the chemistry of this team, Dimitri, which is very important. We've got a lot of talent. We've got people who work hard, but it takes a cohesiveness to win conference championships. Talk about the factor of how closely you guys relate to one another.
Oh yeah, no doubt. The chemistry is definitely a big factor. We didn't lose too many people last year. You know, we lost JJ and Andrew Fischler.
Right.
But besides that, we've had a lot of guys that have stayed and been together for these past 2 years. Yeah, we've also added in new freshmen and stuff. This summer was definitely a big part to growing together as a team on and off the court, definitely with that experience in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah. Talk to us about what you bring to the table for this basketball team, Meach. I know if I see you with a step on a defender and there's nobody else between you and the goal, I got a feeling that the net's about to warm up a little bit. Tell us, you have some monster dunks is what I'm trying to say. Tell us what you feel your biggest strength, what you bring to this team.
I think part of it is leadership, you know, being a senior and being, you know, my 4th year here and being used to the system and the coaching style and stuff like that. as far as on the court, my shooting and defense. You know, I'm long, athletic, so I think those are some aspects that I affect the game with.
And when you're not on the basketball court, where can we find Dimitri Rivers and what's he doing?
So you can find me in my room the majority of the time. I love spending my free time drawing, or playing video games with my teammates.
Yeah.
If you go in our apartment right now, you'll know which room is mine because there's like a drawing on my door, and then when you go in my room, I have like a wall with decorated with some of my favorite drawings.
Wow.
You know, I love art and drawing on my free time. I've always been drawing since I've been little, so that's definitely one of my.
Sounds like we're going to have to take the camera over to your room one night and check
know,
out some
right?
of the drawings. Absolutely. All right, Dimitri, conference games about to come up, very important games. There's a conference championship for somebody to win. Tell us from your experiences with the 4 years you've been here, how hungry is this basketball team to finish the thrill this year?
Oh yeah, very hungry, very hungry. You know, since being here, we've had some disappointments. Losing to ETSU and Furman in the conference tournament and stuff like that, you know, really fires you up and makes us ready to be back out there. But, you know, we just got to take it one game at a time, you know, focus on this next game coming up versus LaSalle, and then just one team at a time. And then when conference tournament comes, we'll be ready.
Final question, what are you majoring in, and with the degree, what do you hope to do one day with it?
I'm majoring in communication studies, and I'm minoring in media studies and art. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with it, but I know there's a lot of options I can choose, like talking about sports and stuff. You know.
Sounds great. Thanks for visiting with us today.
Yep, no problem.
Dimitri Rivers, senior out of Latson, South Carolina. We'll be back with more Inside Mercer Basketball after this break.
Over 3,000 new cars, over 1,500 used cars. Come experience the difference.
Hey, all you Bear fans, I know we're having a great time at this game. It's exciting, fun. We're getting after it. If you want to have a good time after this game, you need to go over to Margaritas in Mercer Village. They have amazing Mexican food, and they're going to take care of you. All kinds of specials. You can find what you want. Look at my body, it's working good for me. Come on over and check them out at Mercer Village, Margaritas. Well, that was a great word from Dimitri Rivers and interview with Rick Cameron. Welcome back to Inside Mercer Basketball, and I'm privileged and honored to have the one and only Mercer baseball coach, Craig Gibson, with us today. Craig, thanks for joining us.
Awesome, Coach. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Most wins, you win every year. How many years in a row have you guys been in the tournament now?
We've been in the tournament. I think we won the regular season 3 years in a row, and we've been fortunate. We've had some good players and good coaches, and the ball's bounced our way.
And a great head coach.
Well, you're very kind. You're a very kind guy.
And speaking of head coach, we had lost a dear friend of Mercer baseball program, your mentor.
We did.
Talk a little bit about what took place with that and what you guys are doing to commemorate his life.
Yeah, Barry was a great guy. He hired me. I worked with him for 10 years. His wife was a special part of the university, Emily Myers, and we're going to wear a patch with his initials and number on it this year in honor of Coach. And just a great friend, a mentor. He was a head coach for 25 years. I think he really laid the groundwork for the success we have today. So just really an honor and a privilege that I had a chance to be a part of his life for 10 years.
He didn't coach on a field kind of like you're coaching on now, right?
No, it wasn't quite
the same. Didn't look quite the same?
No,
or you didn't play on the same kind of field that you're getting to coach on?
No, Coach didn't have quite the resources we have. He did a lot more with a lot less than I have today.
And now you've gotten to move into your offices.
We have. Yeah, we've sort of down by ourselves, and which is good and bad. And but I think it's going to be nice once we start the season.
I don't get to see you as much.
Yeah, we miss you guys.
Yeah.
We miss you guys.
But I mean, it's amazing. A lot of people stepped up to make that happen.
They did. We're really fortunate. I think the administration did a great job.
Yeah.
And of course, the facility with what Sheridan did for us is phenomenal. Ooh. So we're glad to be there.
Yeah, and I know you fixed it up and got all the graphics going on.
We have,
and
yeah, man. I think you need you come down there. I think you're going to get some of those graphics.
Yeah, I like that. Well, I know you got a special time coming up, First Pitch Classic.
We do.
How many years in a row now you've been doing that?
10th year. 10th year.
10 years. Name some of the people that you've had in.
We've had some great guys. We've had Roger Clemens. We've had Pete Rose, Smoltzy, John Smoltz, Chipper Jones, Darryl Strawberry. We've had some great guys, some Hall of Famers, and this year we have Mark Teixeira.
Wow.
So it's going to be a good night.
I mean, I know we were talking before we got on the air here. You're really thrilled about him choosing to come, because it's a big deal to get a name like that, as all those other guys, to take the time out of their day, even though they might get some money for it, or they might not, but for them to come and choose to be a part of your program.
It is. It's tough locking those guys down, but Brent and I've done I think a really good job doing it. And Mark's a Georgia Tech graduate, played 14 years in the big leagues, works for ESPN, MLB Network. So I really like him from an academic standpoint. I think he's going to have a good message for us on the 30th. So it's going to be a good night for us.
He also had Jordan's dad, Darryl.
He was great. Love Darryl.
Yeah,
Darryl was great.
I mean, he speaks all over the country.
Awesome.
He has a tremendous message.
One of my favorite guys in 10 years is Darryl Strawberry. Low maintenance, just spent a lot of time individually with our guys. Just a quality guy.
Now, if somebody want to get tickets or help with sponsorship, we're going to have it up on the screen. But what do they need to do?
Well, they can call me directly at 478-301-2396 or shoot me an email to Gibson_C at mercer.edu. We have plenty of tickets available. I think we're over 400 right now for the event.
Man.
And we'll have an autograph session at 5:30 and the dinner starts at 7.
That's great. Now talk a little bit, take us through the beginning of the year. I know you got some big name folks and you've beat a lot of them over the last few years. Some on the road, some at home.
Oh, yeah.
We don't get those people at home like you do.
Man, it's hard to get them home, isn't it? They don't like to play us at home, Coach.
Well, I know why they ain't playing here.
Well, you run that gamut too. Yeah, it's hard to get them, man. But we're going on the road. We're playing Kansas State for 3 this year. We're playing the defending national championships, Florida and Gainesville. We have Tech home and home, Georgia Southern home and home. Have some new people. We have Holy Cross coming in. They're a regional team. Eastern Kentucky is going to come to Macon. So it's going to be a good home schedule. I think we have 34, 35 home games.
And people can get season tickets now.
Absolutely.
We started doing that a couple years ago.
Yeah, we've released some season tickets.
Yeah, they can get that online, and we'll have that up too.
Awesome.
I know it's really amazing since I've been here. This is my 10th year. And what is this year for you?
15th year as a head coach, 25th year total.
Yeah, 25 years, and Mercer is blessed that you were able to come back and be a part of it.
Well,
and every day, when I get a chance to go, I love watching baseball. I know you know this. We talked about it. But my first head coaching job was high school baseball coach.
I know. I talked to Kelly about that.
That's really scary. You should have seen me.
You were good at it. I heard you were really good.
We were 500, and I couldn't figure out the indicators.
No, you were good, man.
I was trying to figure out what my indicator was.
I heard you were really good.
I didn't look very good in cleats.
That's what the Miss Hoffman tells me. You were good.
I was skinny back then, I'm not skinny anymore. Looking at this season, you got some guys coming back. Talk about the players that you're looking to be leaders on this team.
Yeah, we have a great group of guys returning. I think it starts with our catcher, JT Thomas, who was a preseason All-American. He's a senior, good player. Our number 1 pitcher is a local guy, Austin Cox, left-handed guy. He's going to be a good draft guy, top 5 rounder, so he could be a first rounder. It just depends how he performs. We should be good at the back of the end with Spear, who's returning, and we have a kid, Connor Broom, who led the Cape Cod League in pitching this summer. So our staff should be really good. We're going to have some new guys that's going to have to play a part also. So it's going to be a fun season, but I think hopefully it'll be a good season for us.
I know you, like us, we try to do a lot of things. And I know one of the first things you did when you got back with your program is go out and do some community service. Yeah. Why is that important to you, and why do you think as an athletic department we may be number 1 in the world in doing that?
Well, I just think it means a lot just to be a part of the community giving back. And I'll be honest with you, Coach Shade set it up the other day. We enter on 75 and there was just a lot of trash there, and we knew we had a game coming up and we have a camp coming up. Right. So we sent 25 guys out there to pick up trash. And those kind of things, and we didn't ask anybody to take a picture, but I think we sort of took away from the Public Works Department. They were out there that day, and we sort of worked with those guys. But I think any chance you have an opportunity to be a part of something, it means something, and to wear the MU on your chest, I think is special.
Yeah, you make a huge impact, making a big time difference. Craig Gibson, Mercer Baseball coach of the decade. Man, we're glad he was on the program today.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate you, my man.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
So here's the game plan. Rush into the Wild Wing Café and tackle one of our new steakhouse burgers. 100% Angus, 100% great. It's an all-star lineup that can win you tickets to the biggest games of the year. Where?
For over 20 years, Mercer has relied on Forsyth Street Orthopedics.
Their team of physicians keeps players on the court.
Forsyth Street Orthopedics and Ortho Georgia have merged together into one practice, and we're stronger than ever with 26 physicians and 5 regional offices. As a graduate of Mercer and a partner of Ortho Georgia, we are proud to sponsor and take care of Mercer athletes.
Ortho Georgia, getting better together.
Go Bears!
Well, we're back at Wild Wing Café, more inside Mercer Basketball. Had a great show today, some great guests that coaches had on stage today. All right, Coach, we're coming off of a road trip, very couple of losses that, boy, we could have won every game, went right down to the wire. But one thing positive that has come out of the last week, an honor for Desmond Ringer, named not just a basketball player of the week, but the Southern Conference Student Athlete of the Week.
Yeah, huge honor, and he's done a great job. He's working on his master's degree, already got his undergraduate degree, and he's working on educational leadership, the same thing that Elvis was talking about earlier in the first segment. And we're really thrilled. And he's played at a high level the last few games, rebounding the ball, the best he has since he's been here.
Yeah, that career high against Furman was outstanding last Saturday. Now, let's go a little bit more into academics. For the fall semester, your team at 3.209. That's pretty good as a group.
Yeah, it's a good thing I'm not in charge of academics because I don't think I ever got close to a 3.2 in my career in any semester ever. Maybe in kindergarten, maybe I got close, and when I got the punch and cookies right. But I like we have Matt Brownback is helping us, doing a great job. Sybil Blaylock, all the academic people that spend time, and all the tutors and all the things that go into a Division I program, and the academic success that we have throughout our athletics is due to those people and the diligence they show of pushing our guys to be the best. And then you got to give credit to our players.
Absolutely.
And our assistant coaches help with that in the sense of prodding them and pushing them. But the players, we have some guys who are conscientious about what they're doing with their degrees, and they're serious about it, and it shows up in those grades that we were able to see in the first semester.
Let's just be honest, Coach. To be a student athlete at Mercer University, the high academic standards we have is tough.
No, it's not easy at all. I mean, I joke all the time, but it's the truth. I don't know if I could ever got in there.
Wow.
So anyway, the most important thing, when you look at it right now, I believe we have 9 guys that could graduate this spring, and 6 of them are classified seniors with eligibility, but there's 3 others that could graduate, and that would be almost incredible when you think about it. 9 guys walking across the stage, and we've had countless guys in the 10 years we've been here. I think there's only 2 that have not graduated since I've been here, and those guys lack 1 class, and I want to hit them upside the head every time I see them, because you want them to finish and finish well.
All right, Coach, back to basketball on the courts, finishing that road swing. How about our Sonic Player of the Week?
Well, I think you got to go with Desmond Ringer. We got a consistent theme here going, but he had 2 really big games. I think he's finally getting over. This summer he was playing amazing, and then he got hurt, tweaked his knee, and he's kind of slowly getting back where he's making plays, and we're getting the ball to him in positions where he can finish. We need him to have a great month and a half here as we get to conference play, but he had a great 2 games on the road for us this week.
And also our Marco's Delivery of the Week.
Yeah, kind of unusual. We're going to go with Stephon Jelks there at the end of the game at Western Carolina. Hit some big threes to give us an opportunity to get into to win the game. We didn't win the game, but he hit some 3 big threes toward the end to give us those opportunities to be in a position to win.
All right, Coach, let's talk just a little bit. We've got a couple more minutes left on today's show. The team's at the top of the standings after a couple of weeks. Looks like Furman's got off to an excellent start. They're 4-0, ETSU's 3-0, UNCG at 2-0.
Yeah, Furman, as we saw up close and personal, they fit really well together. They shoot the ball, their post play's good. They're very disciplined in what they're trying to get done. They have played some home games, but they had a big win last night at Chattanooga on the road by 20.
Yep.
And then you look at East Tennessee, they've won 3 road games already. They haven't even played a home game yet. They're 3-0, and I believe they're averaging 20-point wins right now in 3 road games. So you definitely have to say those 2 teams are out and running ahead of everybody. But Western Carolina is 3-1, and they've played 3 road games also in the league already. So for them to be 3-1 at this point, that probably is not what anybody would have thought going into the season. And Greensboro's had some big wins, as we mentioned on other shows, North Carolina State, and now they're playing, as we're filming the show, they're having a big game tonight at East Tennessee. Not sure how that'll turn out. It'll be a great game. The great thing about that game is one of them are going to lose.
Absolutely.
One team's going to lose.
Great opportunity for the Bears back home this week. We've got about a minute before we wrap this show up. Samford and Chattanooga, our folks love to compete against those 2 teams.
Yeah, Samford, they have a great transfer, Coleman, who started out at Alabama. They have multiple transfers, but he's a new player for them. Sharkey's still attacking the basket. They have a lot of tools. Thompson's shooting the ball really well. Auburn transfer. So they beat Western Carolina pretty handily the other night. So it'll be a tough game for us, but we're going to be excited about being back home. And then we get Chattanooga, who always has been a nemesis in the league as we've been in it. We're excited about those 2 games.
All right, Coach, we'll be right back here next week, hopefully after 2 home wins and back on track.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's head coach Bob Hoffman. Thanks for being with us. Great show today. We look forward to seeing you again next week. We return with more Inside Mercer Basketball.